Sometimes I come and sit in this room, and I've just come from doing about 2 hours of research about a topic that I just want to inform you guys about. And then there's some times where I come in here just motivated to have a conversation with you guys, kind of just talk to you guys as if you were just 98,000 of my closest friends, right? And today's one of those days I just want to have a conversation with you guys because while Black conservatives were at the White House partying and dancing to congratulate the president on a victory that they will never see any dividends from, the government was simultaneously suspending scholarship money that went towards African Americans at historically Black colleges and universities. And, it really pisses me off to see this happening and to watch Black people in the White House celebrating someone who is 100% going to cut funding to people who look like them. And it made me think about my upbringing and my friend group that I have right now. And I really want to talk to you guys about like the people that I've surrounded myself with over the years. So, growing up, I grew up in first I grew up in New Orleans, Louisiana, moved to California to a small town, predominantly white, very conservative town. And grew up with mostly white friends. I mean, that was literally all that was here. I think there were 3 Black families in this town when I got here, and we all knew each other. We all knew who each other was, right? When I went to junior college, I started to kind of get to know Black people again. I had obviously a lot of Black family in Louisiana, but things changed a little bit being here. I didn't get to see those people as much, right? And my white friends were great. I still have awesome white friends. So this is not I'm not talking to white people type of thing. But I started to kind of get to know more Black people. And there was one friend that I had, and I thought about this story because he just posted that his son signed to play football in college. And it's at a very, very prestigious college. And I just thought, man, that's so cool. Because I remember when we were in junior college, he and I manifesting like raising our kids and, like just being great dads and stuff like that. Like he and I both came back from backgrounds where, we didn't have the best fathers all the time. And we just knew we were going to be successful Black men who raised some good kids, And his first son went to college and played football. And now his second son is playing football in college. My first daughter went to college and ran track, and now my second daughter is going to college to run track as well. And one of the things I remember him saying, and he grew up in a pretty rough town, but I remember him saying, "Man, I'm gonna get my degree, and then I'm gonna go back to my town, and if I don't make it to the NFL or whatever, I'm gonna teach in that town because I wanna help kids, become like you and I, And I just remember thinking like we hadn't done anything yet, but it was so cool that we were kind of thinking big like that, And that's exactly what he's done. I mean, and that's exactly what we've both done. I mean, initially when we were having these conversations, my goal was to get into broadcasting. My bachelor's degree is in mass communication and broadcast journalism. So it's fitting that I'm an educator, but I'm also sitting here, making these videos. But that's what he's done. We've both dedicated our lives to service to others. When I got to my 4-year college, I went to Fresno State. I then surrounded myself with other Black men who had those same goals in mind. And we don't talk nearly as much as we should anymore. During COVID, we used to get together and have meetings, and we called it the collective, and talked about things. But we don't talk as much as we should. But we all follow each other from afar. One of my friends, we like to kind of joke that we're all in this kind of like unspoken competition to see who can like be the best at whatever, right? So like if one person decided to get their master's degree, then we all went and got our master's degrees, A couple of guys have now gotten their doctorate degrees, and we've joked, man, I can't believe I didn't go get my doctorate or whatever, right? But I just want to point out too that the reason I'm talking about this is that my friend in junior college, these friends that I had in at graduate in undergraduate school at Fresno State, we all benefited from scholarships, grants, initiatives that are on the chopping block now with this Trump administration. And that's what really pisses me off, is because there's a generation of guys like me and my friends who could possibly end. There's a path that we've taken that could possibly be getting blown up now because we have black conservatives who, instead of fighting for these things to continue, they're allowing them to go away. And here's the thing. The difference between myself and my friend group, those black men that I kind of surrounded myself with in college, and these black conservatives, is that we all benefited from these things. Many of these black conservatives benefited from these grants, these initiatives, these scholarships as well. We just don't forget where we came from. We've decided that those things are important, because when I tell you, I mean, I cannot express to you how proud I am of that friend group that I have. Just not just the fact that they've gone on to become professional black men, to be, I've talked about them before, but there's doctors, there's lawyers, there's counselors, there's therapists, there's other educators. We've all done a good job of becoming professionals, but what's better is the people that we've become to our families and to our community. I mean, just the best dads in the world. Like, I couldn't imagine not being a good dad and then trying to hang around these dudes. Like, it wouldn't fly, because not one of them is not like one of the best dads I've ever met in my life. You know what I mean? And so, like, but we're here. We're where we are today because we were able to take advantage of a system that had historically held us down, but was trying to right some of those wrongs. Like, I don't have a master's degree in kinesiology. I don't, have had the internships that I've had if it weren't for those programs. And so it just, I don't know, like when I think about this group of friends that I have, my friend whose son just signed, these other friends whose kids, are playing football and basketball and volleyball in college. One of my friends who had his first kid a little bit older. So his kids, man, I hate to forget, but I think he's around 11. Watch his videos of him. Like, he's following that path of, like, he's going to be something great, man, I just think, like, I'm hoping these resources don't go away, because just in my circle alone, there's probably 15 of us who I would say aren't where we are today without those resources and those programs. I've made a video recently about a black conservative talking about diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how we should get rid of all those initiatives and all those DEI type of benefits. And I know these people have taken advantage of these things. I know there are a lot of people who take advantage of programs but then shit on them because they want to pretend to be this person who pulled themselves up by the bootstraps and never needed anyone else. Most of us who are successful in life, successful in anything, didn't get there without the help of other people. And I mean, I guess I make this video just to kind of introduce you guys to me a little bit more. And, I know we're almost at 100,000 subscribers and you're getting to know some new things about me. But I make this video also to say that, like, understand that a lot of you guys have a lot of respect for me. You guys, in my comments, a lot of time you talk about, your respect for, how much time I put into this, the amount of time that I research these things. And I just want you to know that you guys should be fighting for programs that produce people like me. My daughters, a lot of my friends, their kids will never need any of these services. They'll never need any of these programs because the programs changed the trajectory of our lives, and we were able to provide more for our families and our community because of this. And if you fight for those things, you get more people like myself and my friends who have dedicated their lives to giving back what was given to them. I mean, every single one of us have dedicated our lives to like making sure we're all in service to people, making sure that less of us need these things, making sure that, someone has someone to go to talk to about their issues. I think about this when I'm talking to some of my student athletes now, and they just sometimes they're like, hey, Coach D, I need to talk to you today after practice, just got some things going on or whatever. Like, I'm not where I am today without people who've done that for me. Denying this next generation of kids these resources that could produce people who give back to the community, who give back to this world in so many positive ways, it hurts, It really hurts me to think that any of these things would actually go away, because I see every single day the positives of these things. I teach in a program with a lot of single mothers and foster youth, and I see how like giving them the resources that you and I and many of you guys out there are able to give to your children, giving them those resources changes the trajectory of their lives, changes the trajectory of their families, changes their family tree. And so please, if nothing else, like give and advocate for giving, advocate for keeping programs and resources that produce good people who want to be good fathers and good mothers and good pillars of their community and give back to service. Period.
Don't want no enemies or ops. Envy in they heart, I tell them stop. Vacation on the yacht.